Welcome, Twitch, for the meteorology segment. We're going to start things out by looking at the weather.gov map here at the Smash News Network, least busted name in news. And you can see these flood warnings here around Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas. Also some red flag warnings here over the southern Rockies, Nevada, California. And some winter storm warnings and freeze watches and hydrologic outputs as snow melts on the eastern side of the Continental Divide in Montana, and on the western side, snow continues to fall. Those pink areas are winter storm warnings, and those purple areas are freeze warnings. Yes, freeze warnings, as it's still wintry in western Montana. Next, looking at surface winds of the western world. There you go. A very strong cyclonic system here, just about to make landfall on Ireland. Here is the 250 hectopascal winds, aka the jet stream, and look at the extreme meridional jet stream flow we see here. These north and south patterns and sharp bends in the jet stream making themselves visible once again. Multiple doubled up meridional jet streams here over the U.S. especially. And let's take a look at the eastern world's jet streams. There you go. There are those. Pretty chaotic jet streams here around planet Earth right now. Here are the surface winds of the eastern world. Very strong winds continue in the southern Indian Ocean, the area south of Australia, the location of the South Geomagnetic Pole, which is, by the way, folks, way down here somewhere, thousands of miles from the South Geographic Pole, if you weren't aware. So there's a relationship between sprites, which are these interesting formations that happen above powerful lightning storms. This one from the Czech Republic in 2017. Turns out that they indeed do coincide with global ringing of the bell, the ionospheric bell. And these events do indeed coincide with ionospheric anomalies. I'll play that again. Great view of some sprites there above the top of a thunderhead, and that's why we tell people to take imagery of the area above large thunderstorms when we do the meteorology segments. And the swarm satellites are the European Space Agency's series of Earth observation satellites looking at the magnetic fields. Although SWARM's main goal is to measure slow changes in the magnetic field, it is apparent that the mission can also detect fast fluctuations in the field. However, SWARM can only do this if one of the satellites is in close proximity to the active thunderstorm and if the lightning is strong enough. So here you can see these ELF waves. Yes. Perhaps check out this article if you like. It's from phys.org's Earth section. And let's take a look at a real-time lightning map. And we see some pretty extreme lightning here around southeastern Mexico, mainly in the Gulf. Also some lightning here in South Dakota and North Dakota. It's lightningmaps.org. And next, the NASA GOES Lightning Mapper, a visual analysis. Great view of the last several hours here. It's like 6 hours of data. Make it 5. And I just wanted to look once again at the alarmist propaganda here on phys.org's Earth section, as there's a lot of global warming propaganda in here. As the climate cult rears its ugly head, I just wanted to cite this little quote here. The Larsen Sea ice shelf is the largest remaining remnant of a much more extensive area of ice on the Antarctic Peninsula. So you're going to see stories like this a lot, and many of you may remember the Project Veritas video, where one of the CNN technical directors explained that the coronavirus nonsense network is going to evolve into the climate nonsense network. They're going to change their messaging to leverage themselves for a bunch of idiotic climate propaganda. So that's going to be a thing coming. And here's another story showing how much ice indeed there is on Antarctica. The world's largest iceberg, A76, a little bit larger than the Spanish island of Majorca. That iceberg over 4,300 square kilometers in size. And ice calves off of ice sheets when there is a lot of ice pushing the glacier down toward the ocean. Icebergs calving are an indication of a lot of ice, not receding ice sheets or glaciers. Receding glaciers recede uphill from the ocean, and they usually dry up and so on the face of the mountains. Anyway, another article about the world's largest iceberg. Let's get back to some meteorological data. Here's the current situation when it comes to pressure, and we'll advance this into tomorrow. There's where we expect things to be according to the European forecast for pressure tomorrow, Friday 22nd, at 12 noon Eastern Daylight Time. An anticyclone over the North Atlantic. You can see that high pressure zone there. Continuing on, here's the U.S. Doppler radar map. Lots of moisture here, west of the Mississippi. East of the Mississippi, mostly dry conditions. Here's what's going on in the cloud layer. Here's the water vapor map, which should give you some insight into why all this moisture is stagnating, and it's because the jet stream is way over here. The jet stream is way over here like this, and coming up like this. So that is sort of the source of that. All of this dry mass of air down here is high pressure. This is high pressure. Also, this area here is actually high pressure, and that's causing all of that moisture to stagnate over the U.S. Again, there's a U.S. Doppler radar map. Here's the cloud layer, 3.9 nanometer radiation map on the NASA GOES Interactive Weather Satellite Suite. And there is the water vapor map. And that's today's meteorology segment. Thanks for tuning in, Twitch. We'll have to say goodbye to you. Thanks for leaving a comment. Toy the Beast.